Sound production. Sound production. Sound production.
Yes. What's going on, family? What's going on, guys? Welcome to tonight's stream. How are you guys feeling in the chat? How you guys feeling in the chat, family? Super excited to be here with every single one of you guys. It's not going to be a long stream tonight, but we're definitely going to go ahead and take a look at the markets, see what has happened over the past few hours since our New York session. All right, and also see what we can look forward to going into tonight, into tomorrow. Now, again, it is going to be an extremely choppy week, as we noticed from this morning. You know, it was a very choppy market overall, and it's because it's a holiday week, right? We're talking about, Thanksgiving, right? So the markets are probably gonna be extremely choppy, probably this entire week. I'm probably not even gonna be trading, to be honest with you guys, right? And if I do, it's gonna be some short scalps, right? Nothing long, just because again the markets are gonna be extremely chopping. So we'll see what happens though. We'll see what we can find in the markets, see what we can look for, create some biases as well. Even from a longer term perspective, and see what we could expect the market to overall do. All right, but let's see what we got here. Let's see what the chat is looking like. How you guys feeling in the chat? Let's see. What's up? I see we got Oklahoma in the building. What's going on? Shout out to you guys out there in Oklahoma. How are you guys doing? Let's see. What's up? What's up, Big Ed? How are you feeling in the chat, man? How you feeling? Right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the news real quick, guys. So we did actually have some NZD news come out with their interest rate decision being released. They actually did raise rates by 75 basis points, which was pretty interesting. Again, I expected it, but with what the Australian bank did, right? They actually shocked things, right? They actually shake things up, during their release, right? And since the Aussie and the New Zealand dollar, I mean, I like to consider them as cousins. Um, there was that possibility for them to only raise it by 50, right? But it's interesting that they did it by 75. So let's see what the New Zealand dollar has done off of that news, off of that data, right? We've seen an initial strong spike up to the upside, right, off of the fact that they raised rates by 75. We are reacting right now off of these extremes, which is going to be very interesting to see if this actually holds or not. Against the dollar, even though we have been seeing this thing push up pretty nicely so far, against the dollar, it's hard for me to really predict further upside. Right now, it is very possible, right? But I just don't like betting against the dollar still, But yeah. So overall, though, we should be experiencing, guys, New Zealand strength, right? Higher CPI, or not higher CPI, but higher interest rates usually is gonna benefit the currency more, right? So just keep that in mind. It's gonna make it a little bit more stronger than usual, especially if we're in a hawkish environment. That makes the currencies gain a lot of strength, right? So I wouldn't try to trade New Zealand strength against the dollar just because the dollar is so dominant. But you can go ahead and take a look at other pairs like NZD-JPY, right? Like Euro NZD, GBP NZD, those currencies, and pretty much see what it looks like, right? Because you can really take a trade that could actually play out, like NZD-JPY right now, right? This could be, the start of a nice, continuation to the upside, right? Just because we already know that the Bank of Japan or the Japanese yen has been extremely weak. I mean, the entire year, right? So added strength due to their interest rate going up. Combine that with a weaker yen, which is what we've been seeing for a while. I mean, yeah, we could just literally look for opportunities to continue going to the upside. Now, we are at an interesting level here, though, all right? All the way up here at these highs. We are at some levels of structure, right, that we're pretty much right now about to break through. Now, again, it's going to be interesting to see what the market does here, all right? Are we actually going to go ahead and be able to run through this level, or are we still going to, see the market give us a little bit more of a pullback, right? I think it could be very, very choppy just because, again, it is going to be a slow week overall. But overall, I'm going to be looking for this continuation regardless. All right, so that's what I'll be playing. So is there anywhere on lower time frames? Again, I'm really not going to be trading this week. But if we're able to see price maybe come back down to these levels, right? Maybe between here, that could start, a nice move to the upside, right, for NZD-JPY, right? That could be a potential play that you guys can keep your eyes on going into the end of the week and possibly into next week, right? Something like that could play out. That would be nice, right? That will be super nice. Right, so again, that's just pretty much using fundamentals, guys, the data, the actual release in a way to actually help you predict what could actually happen next, right? So I do believe that's going to bring some strength to this, right? So that's very interesting. All right, now let's see what else we got here. We got my brother Devin in the building. What's going on, Devin? How you doing, bro? We got Australia. We got Swaziland in the house, right? How are you guys feeling? We got NJ, New Jersey, Fifth Ward, Texas. Right, welcome to tonight's stream. All right, let's see. How about that EU from earlier? I don't know where I went wrong. I mean, nothing. You didn't go anywhere wrong. All right, if you're talking about the same one that I ended up taking, I ended up getting stopped out at break even this morning. All right, ended up taking, this opportunity right up here. All right, this is the play that I ended up taking this morning. All right, where we were initially looking for shorts. Somewhere up in these levels, right? And we were on the live stream this morning, guys, for a while too, for about 3.5 hours, right? So shout out to all y'all that was with me this morning during the New York session live stream, right? We was definitely on there for a while, right? But the real goal was to, allow the market to come into this area up here of structure, right? This imbalance, whatever you want to call it, fair value gap, and then just look for that entry, right? So the market did end up getting into that level overall. And I liked the entry, right? I liked what the market was doing, so I ended up taking, the trade, right? Right around, yeah, I mean, my entry was somewhere around here, like right at the beginning, but right around there. And then once the market ended up dropping, right, just like this right here, that's when I ended up going break even, right? In fact, I actually said to go break even on the call right before we got off, right? So I ended up going break even, so I just ended up getting stopped out at break even. But overall, yeah, I think at this point, what can we expect next for Euro USD? I think we're probably just going to continue to, in my opinion, probably reach towards, this higher level up here, this entire area is where I'm going to be keeping my eye on it now. Because I think that this could be an area where we do start to see some more selling pressure potentially come in. Right, so that's where I will be liking it. I'm expecting prices to get up into here now. Okay, so what does that mean? Is there opportunities for us to ride it up there? I mean, there is potential opportunities if you wanted to. All right, there could be a chance for the market to pull back and get you an entry to get up there. But overall, I'm still going to be looking for the overall continuation to the downside, right? I still do like dollar strength, possibly to close out this week, even going into next week, right? Just my opinion, but that's what I'm really leaning towards, right? So, yeah, I'm still going to be keeping my eyes on it. I think up here at this level, guys, around this 1.035 level, I think we could really look for some selling pressure to come and enter the markets. All right, so we could have something like this. All right, possibly target down to these levels. Probably target down to these levels. Let me see. My fault. I think it should sound a little bit better now. Let me go ahead and fix this mic. All right. Yeah, so this is what I'm going to keep my eyes on. It could happen tonight. It might not happen, right? It could happen tomorrow. Who knows? Now, again, keep in mind, guys, it is a holiday week, so it could be very, very choppy. If you do even if you do enter the trade, it could be very choppy. All right, so if you are trying to trade this week, just have a little bit more patience. Okay, have a little bit more patience. Patience is crucial, especially during these type of weeks, right? Where there's not going to be as much liquidity in the markets. All right, but overall, that's what I will be looking for, guys, for Euro USD. All right, and just breaking down pretty much what happened this morning. All right, now again, tomorrow we will be live again for New York session, and I think that's what I'm going to continue to attempt to do. Right, is really just stay on live with you guys and just rock out with you guys throughout all of New York session, right, and just seeing if we can execute together in real time. Right, I think those opportunities where we're able to execute in real time on lower time frames for you guys is definitely beneficial. Right, and I just enjoy it now. So we're definitely going to be, definitely doing that for sure during New York session tomorrow morning, especially when we got the rest of the team on. All right, but yeah, let's see what else we got here, though, guys. Let's take a look at gold. I know gold is a fan favorite, and gold is interesting. I was looking for some shorts from up here from gold. This is what I'm really going to be looking towards. So if we can see gold make its way back up into these highs, right, which again it is a little bit ways to go. But up in here, guys, 1745s, I'm definitely going to be looking for, some opportunities to go ahead and go short on. All right, I think that there's a very good chance for that to happen, right? So that's what I'm going to be targeting. That's what I'm going to be looking for overall, is seeing price reach to that 1745s. And then from 1745, I'll start to look for reasons to go short. All right, so that one also looks really, really good. Let's see. I'm a demo for the rest of the week, 100%. Right? Again, as long as you're still gaining that experience, do it. Right? Gaining the experience is the most important thing right now. Right? So whether you're on a live account, whether you're on demo, at least you're still gaining the experience of taking trades off of your strategy. Right? So it's important to be just getting that experience. Now, again, please just understand the big difference between, again, a live and demo account. All right? Is the attachments that you have to that capital, right? It's very hard to trade, or it's very hard to really separate the emotions, right, when you actually start to go live. But overall, it is important just to gain that experience for sure. All right, but yeah, guys, for this gold, it could play out. Again, these are smaller time frame as well, so this is something that could literally play out throughout tonight. So I'm going to be keeping my eye on this going into tonight, seeing if we do get up into this level. And then when we get up there, I'll see how the market reacts for us. If we can get a play, we get a play. If we don't, then I don't care. Right? I really don't want to force anything anyways this week. But that one looks pretty good. I think there's a good chance for it. All right. Let's see what else we got here, right? GJ, what have you done? Right, GJ. All right, so that hasn't done much, right, at all, right? Pretty much just Still stuck in this range, right? But we really didn't see no type of price action, no type of movements at all today. All right, like it was very, very sideways the entire day. Now, what do we think? I'm a little torn, guys, with what I want to see here for GJ, because my mind is telling me I still want to be bullish, right? I still want to be looking for some buys long term for this. But I could see why we can also see, some selling pressure coming as well. So what I'm gonna be looking for is I would love to see if we can go ahead and clear above this level right here, right above 169. If we can get above 169, then I'll definitely go ahead and go back bullish, right, and remain bullish, and just start to buy it up for the continuations. In fact, I mean, even if we do get maybe a pushback down into these lows, that can give me an opportunity to go ahead and go long as well. That's what I really want to look for. Okay, but again, there is a good chance where the market really doesn't do much and just stays in this range for damn forever, right? But I'm definitely leaning towards more continuations to the upside for GJ right now, right? I'm really, really just betting on the strength of the pound against the Japanese yen as a whole. All right, I think the pound itself, even though they're dealing with crazy, crazy inflation, right? Even though we're dealing with CPI again above 10%, I think that that's only gonna make more demand for the pound as a whole. All right, compared to the Japanese yen, where the Bank of Japan is, their policies are completely different, right? Completely opposite. All right, and which is why it's been making the Japanese yen so weak. So I don't know. I'm just betting on the pound strength for sure. So this is not a bad opportunity. We just gotta be patient though. I don't want to buy up at these highs up here. So I would either need to see the break first, retest, and then look for the continuation, or we just see the pullback all the way back down to these extreme lows, and then from there we look for those buys. Those are the only things that I'm really interested in taking. All right, that's the only thing I'm interested in taking. Let's see. In a sell on GU. Thoughts? Yeah, we can take a look at GU. I was actually looking at a sub on GU as well. I've been waiting for all day long. I think it might have missed me. You don't see GJ coming to get that imbalance. I mean, it's very possible, right? And I see it. There could be a lot of liquidity, and there probably is a ton of liquidity just built up right below this low right here. Like there could be, right? But I just think this level right here is really gonna hold, in my opinion. Right, this is what I would like to see. I think that this level right here, let me actually just highlight it, right? I think that this level really does have a good chance to actually hold. Now, obviously, if we break below this level right here, this 165.25, then yeah, this thing could easily go ahead and start to target, all of this sell side liquidity, fill the imbalances and things like that. Right, but I'm more so betting on this just being a reaccumulation zone. All right, just doing reaccumulating, just reaccumulating, getting ready for that continuation. Let's see. Yeah, let's go take a look at that GU real quick. All right, see what we got there for GU. So this is what I have for GU. We spoke about it this morning as well. Was really waiting for price to get up into this 1.1919 level, 1.1918. But price didn't get there. It came within 10 pips. All right, it came within 10 pips. But yeah, it didn't actually reach. But I do still like if the market gives us that push back up, I still do like the opportunity to possibly go short. All right, I definitely do like that for sure. All right, so I'm still going to be seeing if we could come back up here. We might have actually missed it because the market might actually just continue. All right, and might not even go ahead and reach. But that's what we're going to be patient. We will be patient and just see how the market does or what the market does, right? If we end up running this support right here and we actually break structure, then we might have to just, not wait for the market to come all the way to these highs and then play a different play, right? So, for example, again, the main objective was for price to come up here. But what we just did was we have this level of resistance right here, right? That was generating buy-side liquidity. What we did is we just seen the market spike above that level, right? Tap into all of this liquidity, and now we're seeing the reaction from that level, right? If price ends up running this support right here and it creates that break of a structure, right, where we see the market actually run this level, right, break structure, right? See, now that's giving us evidence that we might actually go ahead and just start going beforehand, right, where we might not reach up here. And at that point, we can go ahead and see on this pullback right here where we can go ahead and get involved at. Okay, does that make sense, family? Drop a 7 in the chat if that makes sense, real quick. Right, because that's how we can literally play, GU today, right? Seeing what the market gives us. That's what I would like to see, at least. Is it possible for price to come up here though? Of course it is. Right, the market can definitely make his way to get up there. But either way, I do like the continuation. I do like the continuation. I want to see this market go ahead and continue lower, right? So I'm still gonna be holding my position overall, seeing what the market gives us, and just taking it, step by step, right? But it's definitely probably gonna be one of my setups I'm gonna be waiting for sure. All right, so let's take a look at a few other ones. UJ, see what we got here, right, for USD JPY. Let's see. Is that highest level considered liquidity? Let's go back to GU. Right, so I mean, every single high and low technically is creating liquidity, right? And at these higher lows, we're either creating more liquidity or we're capturing liquidity, right? Just keep that in mind, right? At every high and low, whenever there's like a little turnaround in the markets, you got to think about the process that caused that market to turn around, right? There was a process of either buying or selling, which now starts to generate, liquidity, right, in certain areas in price. And the market likes to go ahead and target those areas of liquidity, right? Because again, the market is a cycle, right? It's a two-way process, right? Whenever there's somebody buying, somebody has to take the sell side in order for that trade to go through, right? There has to be enough liquidity, right? Like, let's say, for example, I wanted to go ahead and I wanted to buy 100 lots of GBPUSD. In order for that trade to actually go through, there has to be enough liquidity on the flip side, on the sell side, for that trade to actually go in, right? I hope this is making sense, guys, right? That's why we talk about liquidity so often, because the smart money, the big boys, right, the hedge funds, what they have to do, since they're trading with such large capital, right, they're trading, which again, let's just say, for example, 10,000 lots, 20,000 lots, right? Like, they're trading big boy money. The thing that happens is, right, since they're trading with such large capital, they can't just really place large orders at random spots of the market. Big shout out to you, George. Big shout out to you, Tyson. I appreciate you guys showing love. Thank you guys so much. It really does mean a lot to me, right? Thank you for supporting. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, if you have any pairs you want me to analyze, definitely let me know, right? Definitely let me know, and I'll go ahead and I'll definitely answer any of those questions that you guys got. But I definitely appreciate y'all for supporting the channel, right? But back to what I was saying, guys, right? That's why it's so important to understand the concept of liquidity, right? The markets move towards where there is liquidity, because that's the only way that smart money can actually guarantee majority of their trades to actually get filled. Because if they want to throw 10,000 lots, right? Let's say I wanted to buy, and I'm a big hedge fund trader, right? I have billions of dollars to trade with. If I wanted to buy GBPUSD, 10,000 lots, right, and I wanted to make sure that I'm actually able to get all those orders filled, I would have to trade or place or move price to that area so that I can guarantee, right, that those trades actually do get filled. We have to make sure that they're in liquid areas, right? So that's why the concept is so important. Okay, so the market always is going to go towards areas of liquidity, right? I hope that makes sense, family, right? But yeah, this looks pretty good still. For that, let's take a look at USD/JPY, right? I want to see what USD/JPY is doing, because I think there could be an opportunity, guys, where we do start to see this thing really start to, in my opinion, start to fly back up to these highs, all right, and really just start to continue to go higher and higher and higher. I think that there's a very good possibility for that. So what I'm looking for USD/JPY is an area to look for an entry, all right, to go long. I want to go ahead and buy this thing up, guys, in my opinion, long term. Now, where can we look from? Right. Well, I want to see price come back down into this lower level right here, into this extreme of this range right here. And in this area is where we really want to start to see the market give us an opportunity. Now, where can we look for an entry from? Right. Well, I would be trading somewhere possibly back in this range down here. Right in this little pause right here. Right. The reason why that's important is because, I mean, where did the most of the momentum really start at? Right? Most of the momentum was built up, right? So think about how much, build up was created, right? Was accumulated. Think about how many orders were accumulated in here to cause this type of a reaction. All right? So if I'm looking for a continuation, then I want to make sure that I'm aligning myself where we had evidence of it happening in the past, right? So I would love to see the market come into this level right here, possibly even clear this low, just to collect another batch of liquidity before we really go ahead and see that upside, right? So that's what I will be looking for USD JPY. If we're able to see it, then that would be pretty dope, and I think we can go ahead and start to target, back up to the highs and stuff, right? So it looks pretty good though. Again, that's something I'll keep my eyes on. I'm definitely bullish the dollar against the Japanese yen. I just think it just makes sense. So, if we can get that, then we'll take it. All right. If we can get that, then we'll definitely go ahead and see if we can take that for sure. All right. Let's see what we got here. Right. So now, the structure right here looks interesting. Right. I think that we actually see the market come up to these highs up here. Right. I would love to see up here. All right, because what we can see, since we looking at this on this 15-minute, see something like this send us down, right? The market loves to move in waves, and then from there we go ahead and we go back up, right? But yeah, overall I do think that we are still going to be bullish regardless. The overall play is definitely going to be looking for some more upside for sure. Let's see, can you check AU? Yeah, let's go ahead and check AU real quick, right? All right, so AUD USD, another one that we spoke about. I still do like this potential setup right here. I think it's very interesting for sure. But what I would want to change now is I actually want to take it from maybe above this level, right? This is where I will feel comfortable, right, with taking some shorts here on AUD USD. Because I do think, again, with dollar strength, it's probably going to cause, it's probably going to cause all AUD USD to definitely continue to sell off to the downside like it has been pretty much the entire year. Now, this is definitely a little ways to go before we get up there, and I'm not sure if we are going to get up there, but that's where I would be very comfortable with taking the trade from. All right, you could keep your eye even on this level, but I don't know, right? I would really want to see the market probably come all the way up to these highs, guys, before I get really comfortable, right? But then I'm really going to be targeted to the downside, right? Looking for some shorting opportunities, probably all the way back down to these lows over here. Because overall, this thing has been pretty bearish, guys, right? The entire year, right? So I think that, we do see a continuation of that momentum, right? Or at least we start to see the market go ahead and get into that overall momentum and that overall order flow that we pretty much been in the entire year, right? So that looks pretty interesting. If we are able to get an entry up here, right? I think that these entries, guys, all these entries that we're getting up here, I think that these are some really, really good entries, right? I truly believe that those could be some really good entries that could really, we could ride them things down all the way back down to these lows, right? Because I believe all of these levels of structure are going to absolutely get destroyed, right? So, that's just something to keep in mind, right? If you are able to grab some entries, right, then, consider holding them things. We're talking about, this is around a 500 pip drop, right? 500 pips to the downside, right? On AUD USD, that's phenomenal, right? AUD USD is a pair that actually moves, relatively slower compared to other currency pairs, right? So if you're able to get 500 pips out of AUD USD, then that's pretty good. It's just involves a lot of patience. All right, how patient are you going to be, right? If you could be patient enough, then you can absolutely go ahead and target some big bags on that, right? So that's just something to think about, guys, if you guys do like it. AUD USD is definitely one of those pairs that I recommend for beginner traders, just because, like I said, it's not as volatile. It's more so like what I like to consider a forgiving pair because as it moves pretty slow. All right, so yeah, definitely take consideration on looking at that. I would definitely be interested up above these levels to look for that continuation. All right, so that's AUD as well. Right, let's see what else we got here. Right, so let's take a look at the indices, see what they actually did. Now we ended up just seeing a nice rally end up into the end of the day itself. Right now, what do we think can happen next, guys, for these indices? Right, so I want to take a look at all of them real quick because US 30s, trading, uh, you know, pretty much ended up creating newer highs, right? While these other ones are definitely a little bit more, behind, right? Especially NZD or NAS 100. So what I'm looking for here, guys, right? I think that there's a good chance that we still end up seeing more momentum to the upside, right? At this point, we're experiencing, we experience a lot of bullish momentum, right? I wouldn't be surprised if we do end up pushing up, into these levels up here, right? All the way back up into these highs. I wouldn't be surprised by that. Especially going into again the end of the year. I do expect the end of the year rally to potentially really happen and especially influence these indices, right? If there's anything that the end of the year, end of the year rally is going to influence, it's probably going to be these indices, right? So even if we do see a little bit of a pullback, I think that there is a good chance that we do see this thing continue to see, or at least continue to push a little bit higher. Especially just looking at how we played off of, down here at these lows and now just seeing what we're doing. I mean, just look at basic structure. All right, we've seen this market create this lower low, lower high, lower low, right? Lower high, higher low, higher high, right? Then we've seen a little spike low, probably to capture liquidity, and then we've seen the market ultimately turn around and give us another higher high. All right, so there's a good chance that we do start to see, this bullish order flow come in. Right, just getting us up into that level. So that's definitely something I'll be keeping my eyes on for the indices overall. I think that there is a good opportunity, guys, for us to really look for some buys, to push us, back up into the 13,000s. All right, I think that there's a very good opportunity for that to happen for sure. All right, so that's something you can keep your eyes on. Again, it is a holiday week, so probably nothing's gonna happen too crazy for this week. But overall, you guys know where my projections are for sure. All right, and let's take a quick look at the cryptocurrencies, right? Since we already pretty much looked at a bunch of the other things. All right, and let's see what these cryptos are doing. So overall, I think, I don't, trading wise, I don't have too much confidence in trading Bitcoin, right? Especially not no buys or anything like that. Just because there's just a lot of stuff happening right now in the crypto space. The crypto space is extremely volatile right now just because of, all the FUD, all the fear, uncertainty, and doubt that's been spreading due to the whole situation with FTX. So trading wise on margin, I probably will not be doing, right? But investing into Bitcoin, yeah, 100%, right? You guys should, again, I'm not telling you guys to do, right? This is not financial advice, but what I'm doing, right? I'm actually accumulating, guys, all day long, right? I was gonna wait till 2023 to really start to accumulate again, but at these levels, I think it just makes so much sense to, right? So that's what I'm personally gonna be doing. I'm gonna start to accumulate more cryptos, especially going into 2023. Start to go ahead and accumulate a ton more going into 2024, leading up into the Bitcoin halving, which should send us to the moon. All right, so yeah, that's what I'm doing personally speaking. All right, all day long, guys, I'm really gonna start to accumulate below these levels right here. And if it continues to drop, then guess what? I'll just still I'll continue to accumulate more. Right, I'll start to dollar cost average more positions in. All right, so even if this thing did drop, it is what it is. I'll start to buy more at those levels too, because again, I'm a big supporter of $1 million Bitcoin, right? So that's my game plan. That's what I want to do with these cryptocurrencies. Overall, though, I do think that there is still potential for this thing to continue to drop. There is a lot of stuff happening in the crypto space that's just causing a lot of fear, right? A lot of people are definitely liquidating their assets, right? I think that the smart people ones are not trying to just liquidate their assets because of the fear. What they should be doing is just converting it into their cold wallets. But there are a lot of people that are selling, right? There are a lot of people that are losing confidence in the entire crypto space right now, right? So it's gonna, it's gonna continue to create a lot of selling pressure into these coins, in my opinion. So that's just my opinion. I'm personally still gonna be buying all day long. And yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, let's see. You talked to Kyle Skaggs about the Federal Reserve digital coin, right? So I mean, it's been talked about. I've also watched numerous videos on it as well. With this little test run that they're pretty much doing, they're doing like a test pilot, right? And the crazy thing how they're doing it, guys, is they're actually taking their coins, right? But it's pretty much like they're gonna be using a demo account, right? Just to use for examples, right? So you guys understand it. With this whole entire thing that they're doing with these coins, right? With this test pilot they're doing, they're pretty much creating a demo account, and they're going to duplicate real life transactions to see if it's even feasible to do, right? So it's going to be interesting to see what actually happens over the next, whenever they start, to when all the the data that they collect from that. But we are moving into the new era where we are going to eventually see, right, whether this thing actually launches within the next few years or so, or even if it takes a little longer. We are we are headed into that type of season, right, where we are going to have a digital currency instead of dealing with fiat money. How often do you guys have cash anyways nowadays, right? Like, we rarely carry cash nowadays anyways, right? Everything technically is already electronic, because of Apple Pay, because of Zelle, because of Cash App, right? Because of PayPal. Nobody really carries cash. So we're already going into this era where, fiat currency is not going to be used as much, right? Especially when they go into this digital currency, then it's not going to be needed. In fact, what's going to be the crazy thing is, right, if we do end up following through, right, with a Federal Reserve, a Federal Reserve digital currency, you got to understand what that's also going to do to the banking system, right? In my opinion, it's probably going to cripple the banking system, because now our wallets are going to be directly tied to the Federal Reserve, right? Because right now, all of our capital, guys, is, it goes through the bank, right? And then the bank is what reports stuff to, to whoever, right? The IRS, whatever. But now, if they actually do implement this digital currency, now they're going to have to pay us through their own digital wallet. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this is actually going to play out. I think it's going to be very, very interesting for sure. Let's see. Let's see. Kyle was saying it's finna run up ETH. FTC is based on a few ETH-based coins. I believe they were saying. I think you're talking about the ISO, the whole ISO news that's about to happen, right? Which is exactly that, right? The digital currency. The only thing, and this, in my opinion, the only thing that I think is gonna really make these cryptocurrencies turn around, because these cryptocurrencies are really not going to have too much of an influence just because the Fed decides to create their own reserve coin, right? The whole ISO run out, yeah, that's going to bring eventually some momentum. But as long as we're still hawkish, right? As long as the Fed is still raising rates, like, that's the biggest deciding factor right now, right? Like, their tool that they have at their disposal, the ability to raise and lower rates, that does influence these markets, guys, like crazy. Like, it influences it to a whole nother level, right? So as long as they are still hawkish, then every single thing is still going to stay down, right? Even if we do see a little spike in the market, say for a few of those ISO coins, right? Then it's, again, as long as the Fed is still raising rates, it's going to be short-lived. So just keep that in mind, guys. Now, again, this whole rollout is still going to take some time as well. Like, right now, all they're doing is pretty much, again, they're testing it to see if it's even possible. It could still take a while, guys, for it to actually really, really go live in real time. All right, so for the time being right now, I don't think it's going to affect the markets too much over here in the crypto space. All right, but like I said, overall, it was a very interesting day for me, very interesting morning. Again, it was extremely choppy. Just looking for that EURUSD sell. I got stopped out at break even. It is what it is. All right, now, if we are going to take something else, guys, this will probably be the next opportunity I look for, right? Maybe for another sell up in these levels up here. All right, but other than that, we will be live. We'll be back live here tomorrow morning with you guys, right? Hopefully by tomorrow morning, we do have some other opportunities to go ahead and take advantage of. All right, so like I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, family, it was going to be a very quick one. I just wanted to update you guys on super slow market, right? Again, there's really not going to be much this week. This is definitely going to be probably a week where we, give you guys just a lot of education, right? Because, trading examples is probably not going to be that many, right? But like I said, we will be back live tomorrow, me, myself, and the team. And hopefully tomorrow there's a little bit more action. I mean, I doubt it, but who knows? We're still going to be there, and we'll be able to provide you guys with massive value. All right, so family, I'm going to go ahead and jump off this. I love you guys. I appreciate y'all. And I'll see you guys in the morning, all right? Right there, Trading New York session with you guys live. Let's get it. Have a great rest of your night.